Hi, today we're going to read the last part of Mercy Watson, Princess in Disguise, with permission from Candlewick Press. It's written by Kate DiCamillo. It's illustrated by Chris Van Dusen. So we left off at chapter 9. "Get out of my kitchen immediately," screamed Eugenia Lincoln. "Well," said Mr. Watson, "I think it might be time for us to skedaddle." "Yes, indeed," said Mrs. Watson. "We still have quite a lot of trick-or-treating to do. Come along, Mercy." Mercy was eating her second butter barrel. It was delicious, and there were many more butter barrels on the floor. "Mama," said General Washington. He swatted at the ruffle on Mercy's dress. "Yep," said Mercy. General Washington took a swipe at Mercy's tiara. "Yow," said Mercy. "The cat," said Mr. Watson. "The pig," said Eugenia Lincoln. "Oh, dear," said baby Lincoln. The cat ran out of the kitchen. The pig ran after him. It was a chase. Mercy loved a chase. Chapter 10. General Washington ran. Mercy ran after General Washington. Eugenia ran after Mercy, and Baby ran after Eugenia. Mr. Watson ran after Baby. Mrs. Watson ran after Mr. Watson. "No," said General Washington. "Oink," said Mercy. "Pig," said Eugenia. "Sister," said Baby. "Darling," said Mr. Watson. "Dear," said Mrs. Watson. Oh no. General Washington ran through the living room and back into the kitchen. He ran out the open back door. Mercy was in hot pursuit. Her dress felt a bit snug, but it did not slow her down. She was having an excellent time. Chapter 11. Frank and Stella are brother and sister. Frank and Stella live at 50 Decawoo Drive. "Look at that," said Stella. "What is it?" asked Frank. "It's a Halloween parade," said Stella. "Stand back," said Frank. "It looks dangerous." "Wait for me," Stella shouted. "I want to be in the parade too." "Stella!" shouted Frank. "Stella!" "Is that a Halloween parade?" "No, they're chasing after Mercy and the cat." Chapter 12. General Washington raced to the end of Decawoo Drive. He ran up the trunk of an old oak tree. Mercy stopped. Behind Mercy, Eugenia did not stop, and Eugenia bumped into Mercy, and Baby bumped into Eugenia. Mr. Watson bumped into Baby. Mrs. Watson bumped into Mr. Watson, and Stella bumped into Mrs. Watson, and Frank bumped into Stella. Oh my goodness, what a mess. Mercy looked up at General Washington. She sighed, and she sat down. The chase was over. Mercy was very tired. She was very hot. Her tiara was pinching her ears, and her pink dress felt terribly snug, and even porcine princesses cannot climb trees. Chapter 13. "Well," said Stella, "I guess the parade is over." "Nothing is over," Eugenia Lincoln shouted. She stared up into the branches of the tree. General Washington said, "Eugenia, come down here immediately." "Mom," said General Washington. "General Washington," said Eugenia, "I will not take no for an answer." "Mom," said General Washington. "Cats don't usually do what you ask them to do," said Stella. "Nonsense," said Eugenia. "General Washington always obeys orders." "I think that cat is stuck," said Frank. "Nonsense," said Eugenia. "General Washington is far too intelligent to get stuck." Eugenia called General Washington again and again, but General Washington would not move. I think, said Mr. Watson, it might be a good time to call the fire department. Chapter 14. At the fire station, the phone rang. Ned took the call. How's that? Said Ned. General Washington, said Ned. Stuck up a tree? Said Ned. Right, said Ned. We're on our way. That was a strange call, Ned said to Lorenzo. Apparently a general is stuck in a tree. Said Lorenzo. What is the address? Somewhere on DiCamillo Drive, said Ned. DiCamillo Drive, said Lorenzo. That is where the pig lives. Oh boy, said Ned. We'd better hurry. Chapter 15. When Ned and Lorenzo got to DiCamillo Drive, they saw a large oak tree. Underneath the oak tree was a pig in a pink dress with a tiara on her head. It is just as I suspected, said Lorenzo. There is that pig. Yes, said Ned, but where is General Washington? Thank goodness you are here, said B.B. Lincoln. What took you so long? Said Eugenia Lincoln. Is that General Washington? Said Ned. He pointed to the gray cat high in the oak tree. Of course it is, said Eugenia Lincoln. No, said General Washington. Lorenzo got a ladder from the truck. He leaned the ladder against the tree, and he climbed up the ladder. He reached out and grabbed hold of General Washington. He climbed down the ladder. He put General Washington into Eugenia's arms. Hooray! Everyone cheered. You can always count on the fire department, said Mr. Watson. That is what I say. Oh, said Mrs. Watson, we should celebrate. We should have a party. Mercy prickled up her ears. Parties, in Mercy's experience, almost always involved toast. Chapter 16. Everyone was in the Watsons' kitchen. Everyone was gathered around the Watsons' table. Have you ever had the toast here? Lorenzo asked Stella. No, said Stella. You are in for a treat, said Ned. The toast here is excellent. Eating food at a stranger's house is potentially dangerous, said Frank. But we are not strangers, said Mrs. Watson. We are your neighbors. Meow, said General Washington. Bah, said Eugenia Lincoln. Who needs neighbors? Oh, sister, said Baby. Here, have a butter barrel. Ooh, that looks like a fun party. My darling, my dear, my porcine princess, said Mr. Watson. Aren't you glad you put on the pink dress? Mercy put her snout up in the air. She sniffed. Bread was toasting. Butter was melting. The pink dress was terribly snug, but it was worth it. Pink, said Mercy. Happy Halloween, my darling, said Mr. Watson. Happy Halloween, everyone. The end. Bye, I'll see you tomorrow. Or later today if you're watching this earlier and we'll do Google Meet.